My name is Beau French. I'm the chairman of the Tarrant County Republican Party. And I am here today to debunk some lies that were spread online and a narrative by Commissioner Simmons that I find repulsive and unbecoming of this court. The rumors were spread that, Judge, you told her to sit down and shut up, and that was because you were a racist. Anyone who knows you knows that that couldn't be further from the truth. You're an honorable man. And to mischaracterize what actually happened in here, I just find repulsive. There's just one problem. There was video of that exchange. Judge O'Hare rightly told you to be quiet when you rudely interrupted him. And that's not the first time. I've watched many of these videos. You repeatedly interrupt staff members. You constantly talk rudely to the staff. You even cussed out the county administrator. I also find it repulsive that you stooped so low to accuse the people who hired our county administrator to be racist. Then on top of that, you cry racism when you're told not to interrupt. It's clear you try to hijack the meetings to grandstand about your political agenda, trying to make it your own show. One thing is obvious to clear-thinking people, and that is you lack the decorum benefiting a county commissioner, and we deserve better. The good people of Tarrant County understand your grift, and we're tired of it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge O'Hare and Commissioners Court. My name is Nate Schatzline. I am the Texas State Representative for District 93, which is located in the northern part of Tarrant County. I'm a proud resident of Tarrant County, and I'm here after listening to a lot of nonsense this afternoon to say thank you, County Judge Tim O'Hare. I want to say thank you for voting to reduce the 2024 budget during record inflation brought by the failed Biden administration. I want to say thank you for the no new revenue rate. I want to say thank you because the only real way to limit government is to reduce spending, and you understand that. I want to say thank you for adopting a homestead exemption for the first time ever in Tarrant County, which helps every single resident in our county. I want to say thank you because our residents are being taxed out of our home, and you heard their cries. I want to say thank you because you've uplifted and supported law enforcement, even in the face of opposition. I want to say thank you because you've also been dedicated to securing our elections regardless of the trash that's been thrown at you or said about you. You've been called names all afternoon. It's been said that you've let us down. And I'm here to say that regardless of the attacks of the radical left, such as calling you a racist for requiring decorum, which is disingenuous at best, you are right on the target. I have your back, the community has your back, and history will show that when your opposition can't argue with the effectiveness of your policies, they'll lie about your character. Judge O'Hare, you're a man of God, you're a dedicated husband, a heck of a father, and the greatest county judge this county has ever had. And so thank you for following through on every campaign promise and fighting for Tarrant County. You'll never know how much it means to us, and you'll never know how much it means to the ones who aren't here giving that testimony today. I want to say once again, we have your back. Thank you for serving us so well.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good afternoon. Tarrant County Commissioners, I'm Rosalie Escobedo. I respectfully come before you concerning the recent unfounded accusations alleged against and about Judge Tim O'Hare. I wish I was not coming before you today under these circumstances. We, as a lot of volunteers here, have a little bit of civic engagement fatigue at this point, so our time could be better spent. I believe that both your time and my time could be better spent on other items not pertaining to purely politically motivated and hyperbolic media mazes. Another, I'm an executive director of Tarrant County Citizens Defending Freedom. We meet regularly and are heavily involved in this community. So first and foremost, I want to let you all know that I pray for every single one of you, including Mr. Brooks, who's not here. I honor each and every one of you, and I want to thank you for your service and sacrifices to Tarrant County. I also want you all to know that I pray for you individually as you have mountains of responsibilities and obligations on your shoulders. I genuinely pray that the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ helps make your burdens light, gives you wisdom in all your dealings, and leads you in all your ways. I pray that the Holy Spirit is with you, in you, and around you, and I take authority in the name of Jesus here. And I ask for the spirit of reconciliation to abound in this place. I ask for personal responsibility to rise up in the hearts, minds, spirits, souls, and emotions of each one of you. You have come to your positions for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. I am calling you all to rise above the politics and distractions and attend to the momentous decisions and responsibilities set before you. Now on to my analysis of the matter at hand. So I reviewed the Commissioner's Court video dated April 16, 2024, on or about the 1 hour and 34-minute mark. And perhaps it's just my legal training, but what I saw exhibited was someone that's very adept in deposition and trial-like manner, trying to get order back into the room. Then what I did was I found it to be an exchange that was neutral in an attempt to again have order in the room. Next, I reviewed the Commissioner's Court video dated April 2nd, 2024, on or about the 1 hour and 25-minute mark, and I listened to profanity being used in the Commissioner's Court. I found the verbiage to be jarring and disorderly. So I'm not here to play back and forth games. I am, however, trying to understand and reconcile how one situation calls forth a media maze and a frenzy, and another one is ignored to praised. There was clapping that happened immediately after the profanity was exhibited. So there's a clear double standard that's set here. So I want to close with this. I was talking to my father, Rafael Escobedo, and I asked him, what do you have to say about this? He's a very godly man. And he sent me to this scripture. Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be made known. Therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be prayed in housetops. Thank you.
Time is up.
My name's Sheila Clemens. The definition of a racist is someone who naturally believes they're superior to other races. A definition of a misogynist is someone who hates women. Hate is active hostility. Back on October 3rd, I spoke out against Girls Inc. of Tarrant County due to multiple examples of their program going against Christian values. Ms. Simmons made the statement that I would probably crucify Christ. I submitted emails to everyone, but Judge O'Hara was the only one that responded to my email. Ms. Simmons' personal attacks of name-calling comes from communist Karl Marx, a technique to create a negative opinion without seeing the evidence. We are in a spiritual battle, good versus evil. Matthew 12:25, every kingdom divided against itself is headed for destruction, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. If you're not doing God's good work, then you're doing Satan's evil work. God defines good and evil in the Bible. We are United States of America. America is a Christian nation. Jesus Christ-centered. America was built on Christian values and Christian Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Stop with the division and find unity. We, the people, are paying way too much in taxes for a government that's making our great nation a den of thieves, despair and destruction and division. The unity starts in our local communities and local government. It's God first, we the people, then government, in that order. Genesis 1:27, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. We are God's children, just different shades of brown. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Following Ms. Reed Bills, we have Jenny Elder, Brian Bledsoe, and James.
Keep this very short. So I'm speaking in support of Judge O'Hara against these ridiculous, absurd, dare I say, nefarious accusations. I supported his campaign for this position, and I probably voted for him, and I will probably vote for him again. I support his statement to ignore Biden's illegal scheme on Title IX. As an election judge since 2018, I appreciate the effort so far on election integrity and hope for more to strengthen the polls as far as the constant barrage of people wanting to make elections easier to cheat. And these frivolous attacks against Judge O'Hara are nothing more than just undermining tactics to keep him from serving Tarrant County efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you. Following Mr. Ashby, Ms.
Supporting Judge O'Hara. I don't frequently attend the meetings, but I have attended enough to hear some disruptive behavior coming from the DS. I've heard some inappropriate language what I consider inappropriate, including at the session this morning. I don't think what happened was had anything to do with gender or race, and I'd like to see a little more civility in all the proceedings at this court going forward. Thank you.
Ms. Makamed.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. After working for Tarrant County as an employee, not an elected official, just 2 months I retired in 2021, shy of 20 years service. And one of the things that was instilled within me as an employee, because we often had to attend Commissioner's Court to take care of business on behalf of the citizens of Tarrant County. One of the things that my supervisors and directors had instilled within me was that when I walked in, now bear in mind, just being an employee of Tarrant County, when I walked into this court, there was a certain decorum that was to be honored. There was a certain, coming together for respect, regardless of political affiliation or opinion, but we conducted our business. And one of the things that it was driven into us was this respect. And I really like Chaplain Rich Stoglin's comments talking about when we enter into this court, there is a need for respect. There's a need for decency. There's a need for order. And that is just being my years of service as a county employee. How much more has the bar raised when we actually have elected officials, commissioners? And by the way, being asked to be quiet is nothing more than when you use your race card to challenge that and make political theater. That is totally disavowing the responsibilities of this court. I now, after being retired from Tarrant County, I would like to see this court have more order. So therefore, I stand in support with Judge Tim O'Hare. Thank you very much.
O'Hare and Commissioners. My name is Joe Potenza. I'm a native of Texas and Tarrant County taxpayer of over 20 years. Today I'm here to unequivocally condemn the racist allegations against Judge O'Hare. I have known him for several years and can attest to his character and inclusivity. Requiring decorum in a courtroom has nothing to do with race, but these allegations by Commissioner Simmons should not surprise anyone. Several years ago, she sued the Tarrant County 911 district alleging racism. Over the last few years, more than half of her tweets have been about race, skin color, and or the NAACP. Even tweeting about vaccines, it's black versus white, white versus black versus Latino, etc. And now the race card is being played for courtroom behavior. But Ms. Simmons has had a problem with Judge O'Hare for some time, as evidenced by the tweet about a year ago referring to Judge O'Hare as a thumbsucker. And one more thing for considering the source. Here's an example of character, as she made fun of a child rape victim and was mad at a group demanding justice for that child because it inconvenienced her political campaign. When she was asked about it, she replied with the following statement, and I'm leaving out the actual names and profanity. I don't give a blank about that case, and I met with the caseworker on that case. Miss Blank deserved every amount of blank she gets for exposing those confidential CPS records. She's lucky all her daughter got was sexually assaulted in foster care. She could turn up dead. Her supporters ruined my campaign with this blank, blank, bull blank. Contact blank. I bet his white blank won't help her stupid blank daughter. Kids get taken every day. End quote. It's unfortunate that we are here having to waste time and tax dollars on this nonsense. This is true. a true waste of tax dollars. I'm all for election integrity and spending it on that, but this is nonsense. Judge O'Hare, you have my full support. Thank you.
Thank you. There we go. Following Ms. Sikowski, we have Lynn Hanley and Doreen Geiger.
Thank you. I'm here today to offer my support and to show my appreciation for Judge O'Hare. Since being elected, I have witnessed him fulfill multiple campaign promises. I have watched and attended many Commissioner Court meetings, and in almost all meetings, I have witnessed Judge O'Hare challenge the overspending in the local Tarrant County government. He has brought transparency into the budget process and has called out items like the egregious staff travel expenses, unnecessary subscriptions, funding for social programs that only benefit a few. Challenging these types of unnecessary budget items ultimately led to you, as a governing body, being able to reduce the 2024 budget by $8 million. And I'm very thankful for that, and for one of the main reasons that you are set here and elected is for budgetary items, not for social programs, not for many of the things that we've even heard here today. So I'm very thankful that some of that has happened. And I would like to specifically thank you, Judge O'Hare, in leading the way and adopting the first Tarrant County homestead exemption and adopting the no new revenue rate for our property taxes this year. We still have a lot of work to do in Texas as a whole in lowering and or eliminating property taxes, but this was a great start, and my family and I are very appreciative. I also would like to thank you for your commitment to ensure Tarrant County has fair elections. At the April 16th meeting, I was surprised at how incensed Ms. Simmons was at the election board voting to add sequentially numbered ballots to our digital ballot numbering system. I cannot think of any reason as to why anyone would oppose another layer of protection to our election system. I can tell you, as a member of the public, one of the most important issues to me is that our elected officials would do all they can to ensure that all elections are secure and fair. My hope is that you will go even further and close, well, I'm sure this isn't really your area, but I'm hoping for closed primaries and precinct level voting just to get us back to the place where we can ensure election integrity. I believe that there is so much more that can be done to protect the integrity of our elections, and I find it troublesome that Ms. Simmons would be against taking action that would help in securing our elections. If it is solely a matter of monetary reasons, Ms. Simmons, that you oppose sequentially numbering the ballots as you had suggested, then perhaps we can take a deeper dive into the budget and make some additional cuts in social programs. I do not believe there is a more important issue than securing our elections. Thank you.
Thank you. Be quiet. Hang on.
Yo soy hispano, yo no soy blanco.
You stop.
I'm gonna excuse myself.
Okay, feel free to.
That's right.
I'm not white.
Please
I'm
remove her from the building.
Yo no soy blanco. Yo no soy
Be quiet. All right. Mr. Tercios, go ahead.
All right. My name is Carlos Tercios, and I'm the Executive Director for Latinos United for Conservative Action. I'm also a taxpayer here in Tarrant County, and I just want to come here on behalf of the organization to show support for County Judge Tim O'Hare. County Judge Tim O'Hare is not a racist. He is not a misogynistic individual, and you can see that clearly with the office representation that he has. Mr. O'Hare is a strong Christian, and on behalf of the organization, we show support for Mr. O'Hare. I will say that, the reason why the attacks are happening right now is because there's a framework that's been devised through higher academia, and that's called critical theory. And for those that don't know what critical theory is, it's the framework that essentially you need to criticize society in general. But then it ties into race. And so let's just discuss about race, since we're talking about race so much here. Why is he being attacked? He's being attacked because he's a white male. If he were a black individual, he would not be under attack. If he were a Hispanic individual, he would not be under attack. The framework known as critical race theory, and I used to be a part of a DEI committee for 4 years, the framework that I understand and I actually experienced and learned about is essentially a framework that white supremacy is an ideology and whiteness is an ideology, and so is racism. as well. Racism is a system, a power system, that only white individuals can benefit and not blacks and Hispanics. So therefore, Hispanics and blacks cannot benefit from racism, and they can never be racist if you follow that framework. That framework is very flawed because there are Hispanics that are racist, there are blacks that are racist. Human beings are flawed people. You know, we're all sinners. And what Mr. O'Hare tried doing last month was just simply keeping order in this room. And the framework of critical race theory, which is what's being applied here, is very flawed as well. Because if we look at GDP per capita, Asian Americans make more than white Americans. Jewish Americans make more than white Americans. Indian Americans make more than white Americans. I would like to know where this white privilege exists, and most importantly, which rights I don't have as a mexicano, y más importante, como un ciudadano de los Estados Unidos y un hispano que es un hijo de inmigrantes en este país. I would like to know where this white privilege is. I am marrying someone that is white. She is not a racist. She is not a white supremacist. And my parents taught me that we need to be colorblind and we need to see everyone through character and not color. Thank you.
Thank you. Following.
If Mary Bethune went on a media tour hollering about how she got her feelings hurt by a white man, would she have gone to found the Daytona Educational and Industrial Institute for Girls and the National Council of Negro Women? If Madam C.J. Walker cried for 2 weeks on social media with her friends at the NAACP about some words a white man said, would she have gone to become the first ever self-made black American female millionaire? If Harriet Tubman went on media tours whining about what a white man said or how he said it when speaking to her, would she herself have escaped slavery and went on to free many other slaves? Well, the short answer to this is no. Commissioner Simmons accused Attorney Mark from the DA's office of being incapable of answering a simple question. My question is, why can't you answer or follow simple instructions? The idiocy associated with black folks only following rules and instructions from their mama and daddy is the very reason why young and old black boys and girls find themselves laid up somewhere in a cemetery rather than living a life of morality that understands that respect ain't got a name, it ain't got a race, it ain't got a color. If whiteness was so supreme, Commissioner Simmons wouldn't be sitting up there. Just because you and your supporters want to have a white man tie a bib around your neck, spoon food you some Gerber's peas and carrots, it don't mean that all blacks in America crave the same attention from white folks that you do. I am against Judge Tim O'Hare apologizing to Elisa Simmons. Judge O'Hare, I ask that you keep your honor. Weak leaders fall on their knees and bend at the beckon of empty-minded social justice warriors. The only person truly worthy of you falling to your knees in search of forgiveness is one man, Jesus Christ. And while Elisa Simmons sits up here and plays God and plays holy, she ain't my God. She may have all these other Negroes in here today, tricked into the Lyndon Baines Johnson ideology of keeping a Negro down and out, but I am not that Negro. In a nation where my ancestors died so that I can be as free today, you'd think that as a young black woman, Elisa Simmons would be a positive example of who I can look up to and aspire to be one day. Meanwhile, she along with D.A. Fannie Willis, Letitia James, Tiffany Henyard, Karen Bass, and all the others, have proven to me that the only way that blacks in America can be taken serious in any setting, let alone a political one, is measured in how loud I can be, how hard I can roll my neck, how frequent I can smack my lips, and how professional I need to be when the whole entire world is watching.
Thank you. Your time is up.
I came here to speak of decorum. The judge looks for ways to save the taxpayer money. Now, in the courts, he found a way to do so. Commissioner, at this particular time, Commissioner Simmons questioned this, And in my opinion, she was clearly against it, and not being aware or informed of it. In this very commissioner's court, for all to see, Commissioner Simmons told the gentleman at this very podium, I won't put up with this BS, I won't curse, or words to that effect. And the court erupted, and the gavel came down. This was a serious lack of decorum at the time on behalf of Commissioner Simmons. Now, at a separate incident, recently at Commissioner's Court, Commissioner Simmons was questioning an issue of the judge hiring an employee who was similarly as she has on her staff, and a discussion transpired critiquing the judge's hiring the employee. Commissioner Simmons seemed agitated and kept talking over the judge when he had the floor. This is his court. He controlled his court by telling her to be quiet. He did not tell the commissioner to shut up, like a pastor had stated in public comment. Later on in social media, Commissioner Simmons disparaged the judge's wife by calling her a Stepford wife. In my opinion, if you have an issue with your boss, a judge, a person of authority, telling you to be quiet, you are just too sensitive and need to reevaluate yourself. I have always observed Judge O'Hare as being caring and polite in his communication. On the courts, I hear people talk about this power grab as far as the courts goes. Power isn't all it's cracked up to be. Being at a long table means responsibility. Everyone has a boss. Everyone has a deadline, and it means long hours of work. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.